After understanding the provision of maintenance provided under the personal laws, we will look for the legislation which is secular in nature, which provides the right to maintenance to everybody irrespective of the religion to which it belongs to. The Code of Criminal Procedure is one of such legislation which provide right to maintenance to parents if they are unable to maintain themselves and if their children have means to maintain them. Here also there is no differentiation has been made between son and a daughter. Both son and a daughter are equally responsible to maintain their parents. Next provision which comes forward for protection of the senior citizen is Specific Relief Act. Section 31 of the Specific Relief Act provides if there is any instrument which is void and voidable, then the person against whom that contract, that instrument is void or voidable, can get it cancelled and avoid any further chance of any litigation against him. So this provision can be used by a senior citizen if he has transferred his property under influence. Then this is a voidable contract. By the help of this provision, he can get it cancelled from the court and get the property which he has transferred under undue influence to anybody back. Indian Contract Act also can be of some help regarding the same area. Section 16 of Indian Contract Act talks about undue influence transaction. If the parties to the suit are in such a position that one of them stands in a dominant position and by exercising his influence over the another person, if he gets a contract or an agreement signed which is advantageous to him, it is available to the other party to get it annulled, to get it cancelled. So, by the application of this section, if the senior citizen has transferred his property to any person who from his undue influence or because of his dominant position has got his property transferred to him, then the senior citizen can approach the court and get that instrument cancelled and can get it declared voidable and can get it cancelled by the court. Another very good piece of legislation is Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. Many a times it has been seen that senior citizens are at threat of risk, harm and crime not only from the people who doesn't belong to them, but also from the people who are their family members. So for dealing with such situation, the provision of Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005 is of much use. It provides that if a woman is subjected to domestic violence by any person with whom she stands in a domestic relationship, then she can make a complaint under this section, under this act, and her dispute can be redressed. So if a woman who is about 60 years of age has been thrown out from her home, or if she has been subjected to any physical or verbal violence, then she can address the issue to the tribunal set up under this act. Here we need to understand what does domestic relationship means. Domestic relationship includes relationship by consanguinity, marriage, or through a relationship in the nature of marriage, adoption, or are family members living together in a joint family. So, if a woman who is above 60 years of age has been subjected to cruelty or domestic violence from any of such person, then she can make a complaint under this act against such domestic violence. Another very good piece of legislation is Legal Services Authorities Act. As we discussed in the beginning, the technicality of the judicial system, lack of speedy disposal and expensive justice act as a barrier to access to justice. So, for rescue, Legal Service Authorities Act was enacted, which provides access to justice on equality. Many a times it was found that people doesn't come forward to file a case because they don't have that much of means to pay the court fees and hire the services of an advocate. This act provides right to states to draft their own rules. Under such rules, many states have expressly made senior citizen entitled for free legal aid. So, if a person belongs to a state in which there is such express provision, then he can be provided free legal services, which includes free advocate, exemption from the court fees, process fees, and he will not have to pay any charges to represent his case before the court. Another useful provision is High Court Case Flow Management Rule. As we discussed earlier, the delay in disposal of suit is also one of the barriers to access to justice. So, under this rule, Chief Justice of India gave direction to all the Chief Justice of State High Courts to give further direction to all the district courts that the cases in which senior citizens are involved should be disposed of as soon as possible and they should be given preference. The Punjab and Haryana High Court formulated the rules on such direction, and they have given direction to all the courts in Punjab and Haryana that the cases in which senior citizens are involved should be tried on fast track court, and at the same time every day while making the course list, such cases should be given priority, which means these cases should be heard primarily, they should be heard at the first instance, and then later on the cases in which senior citizens are not involved can be heard and discussed in a court. Even the government made many policies and schemes for protecting the rights of senior citizens and for providing them certain special provision. One of such policy is National Policy for Older Person, which provides for safety, security and well-being of a person who are above 60 years of age. For the effective implementation of this policy, another council was formulated, which is known as National Council for Older Person. The function of this council is to give advice to the state government and the central government regarding the constitution, regarding the drafting and making of schemes for senior citizens. At the same time, give the feedback to the government regarding the functioning of such schemes, and last but not the least, provide a grievance redressal agency. If the people who are entitled to such benefits have some grievances, then they can address those issues in that portal. Maintenance of welfare and senior citizen is another very good piece of legislation. It is the only piece of legislation which is meant exclusively for parents and senior citizens. It provides for right to maintenance to senior citizen and parents, in addition to many other rights which have been provided and which we will discuss later on. This Act provides right to senior citizens and parents to claim maintenance from their children if they are unable to maintain themselves. Here, parent includes both biological parents and adopted parents, and for claiming the right of maintenance, he need not to be above the age of 60 years. Second category of beneficiary are the senior citizen. If a person who is above 60 years of age and doesn't have children of his own, and at the same time he is unable to maintain himself, then the legal heirs or any other person who would be inheriting his property after his death would be under obligation to maintain him. When the responsibility of children to maintain his parent comes, then their financial position is not taken care of. Even if their financial position is not that sound, they are under responsibility to maintain their parents. Whereas, when the responsibility of relatives comes to maintain the senior citizens whose property they would inherit after their death, then if they are in a position, if they are in that financial position that they have that much of resources to maintain the senior citizen, then only this duty can be imposed by them, on them by the court of law.